Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are back with another live training. Well, we're doing it, but when you see it, it's not live because it's pre-recording, which we're doing live right now. Today I have a member of my community, Casey Cantu. Did I say that right or did I butcher it?
No, that was right.
Oh, okay, good. I thought I lost you. We had some technical difficulties at the beginning, but I think we got it worked out now. So I mean, tell us, man. Tell the people inquiring out there, the viewers, all the people watching, the millions of viewers. There's not millions of viewers, the thousands of viewers. How you got into voiceover and like how the journey's been going, what you've tried, what's worked, and what has not worked. How long have you been doing it for?
I haven't really been doing it like all in for a long time, right?
Yeah.
I've kind of dabbled in and out of it. An entertainer I've always been. Out of high school, I moved to Nashville. I was a singer. My dad used to have a band, so he had some bandmates out that way that went ahead and got me into a studio to do an album. I was on CMT and GAC. I was on their like kind of the voice style shows, and
Okay.
I was a semifinalist on both shows. So
What?
doing vocal stuff, yeah. Doing vocal stuff I've always done because I've been a singer, right? But it wasn't up until maybe about 4 years ago or so that my uncle, who used to live in Houston, he's been doing voiceover work like his whole life, mostly for radio stations and things like that. Came down and he was like, you know what? You've always had a great voice. How come you never give it a chance? And it was never really something that I had thought about doing outside of character stuff, right? Because that's a whole other thing. I used to run anime conventions in the area that I'm at. Yeah. So I've met a lot of voice actors who would do that kind of stuff. So that was also something that I always wanted to do, was kind of get into the anime or video game world.
Right.
So it's something it's kind of hard to get into. And but I met a lot of amazing people, and they've all told me, like, if you want to do it, just go for it and whatever. Voice acting, doing things, I've only ever started doing really since last year.
Wow.
I had a job in... Am I doxing myself? I had a job in Brownsville.
What's your address?
And the marketing and communications department there would use me to do their commercials. And so that was kind of like my foot in the door. And we actually won a .com award, gold award, for one of the campaigns that we did. So it's pretty cool. I get to put .com gold award winner voiceover artist on my stuff.
That's awesome. Okay, I want to ask you a couple questions. This is amazing. First off, you said you were semifinalist like on The Voice, or like a voice like competition?
A voice like competition, but with CMT, which is Country Music Television, and GAC, which is Great American Country. So CMT had Music City Madness. It was video based. So you would submit in like if you had a music video and then like vocal talent stuff, and they would give you like a coach. It was, like I said, kind of similar to the Voice, but it was all done online. And then people would listen to your stuff, and they would put you like head to head against other artists, and then you would have people vote which one they liked more. And so out of like, man, I think that one had, the first season only maybe had like 6,000 people that applied for it, or that was like a part of it. And I was a semifinalist. I was in the top 16.
Oh,
and
my God.
Yeah. So that was super cool.
Do you put that in like your voiceover stuff?
I don't. Should I? Is that something I should be doing?
Should 100%. Number one, it's so interesting. It's using your voice, and there are a lot of spots that come up where they require singing. Like that's something where if they saw that and they listened to your demo, that's something where it's such a big accolades where they might not even ask you to audition. They might hear a singing sample and hear a commercial demo sample and just go straight to hiring you. That's the kind of thing that gives you credibility above like anything like that, like any kind of like entertainer sort of awards or accolades. And like, that's huge. Like I mean, I haven't heard you sing, but just you telling me that. And I know like I can tell you're like a super honest person. Just you telling me that, like that instantly put you up a notch. Like I know you probably like you can probably handle copy pretty good, because I'm not a singer myself, but what I know about it is like you have to be authentic when you're singing. You have got to sing from your soul, otherwise people can tell. Am I right or wrong?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. It has a lot of feeling in it.
Yeah, and voiceover is the same. It's very similar. Amazing, cool. Because I heard your stuff; it was pretty good. But it sounds like you got some experience too. You were doing the other stuff. So, how many jobs have you done now? Would you say, like, even if you think that they're not ones that weren't even super high paying, as long as you worked with a client, like how many do you think you've done?
Oh, like maybe 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
I
Okay.
haven't. Yeah, I don't have much
And
under
you've
my
been doing
belt.
it for a year. What's holding you
Uh,
back?
uh, just myself, a lot of myself.
Uh,
I often feel like, it's a lot of people use the term imposter syndrome. I always, I've never felt like, why would somebody want to pay me to use my voice for something?
yeah.
And then of course life. I have 3 kids, jobs, and so do a lot of work, and don't have so much time that I would love to dedicate to this, which is awesome because you literally just came out with a video.
What's your
Was it
why?
2 days ago? The why.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I, I I try to pin that down as to what it is exactly, as to why I want to chase it. And I do know why. And I had brought this up in a like I said, that one time that we had done something together in that little group thing where I
Uh-huh.
said that I want my voice to outlive me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I remember
I
now.
want something out there that, that I could show my kids, or that my kids will show their kids, and just be like, oh yeah, grandpa or great grandpa or whatever, this is what he used to do. And it's pretty cool because ever since I've started getting into the studio again,
Mhm.
because like I said, that was something that I had just kind of not been doing. Even my
Mhm.
eldest, she's kind of like, do you think I could do voiceover work? And I was like, yeah, you know what, you just give it a try.
You should listen. Like, did you see the interview with Peter Kalamis? We had it come in. He was the voice of Goku.
No, I didn't.
Check that out in the classroom area where we have all the interviews laid in, and
Hmm.
he's in there. Just watch it on replay, and he talks about how he's a really successful character actor, but you'll get a lot of great stuff out of it, especially if that's something you want to do. And his daughter started showing interest, so he started coaching her in it. And now they're like having daddy daughter bonding moments, and she's booking campaigns and jobs and stuff like that, and he's
Oh,
like
that's
helping her
awesome.
do it. So she's like living out her
Yeah,
dream.
yeah.
So that's it's similar to like what I think would be great for you. Now here's what I always say, like in terms of like animation video games and how it relates to commercials. Every single animation video game actor I know, they all also do commercials. Reason
Mhm.
being is because generally, not always, but generally, unless you get like a leading role in a video game or animation, generally commercials pay more. It's still on the
Yes.
lines the same thing. You need to know all the same stuff when you're doing commercials. It's still acting. And when I say acting, you're trying to not get caught acting. So you're trying to be authentic instead of putting on a voice. And when you're doing video
Yes.
games animation, sometimes you're putting on a voice, but you have to do it from a real authentic place. Right. So they help each other out. But also, when you do book the big commercial campaigns, which are easier to get, you can use that to then pay for like acting lessons or any kind of networking events or things that you're going to need to like move forward in video games animation. And you need to
Hmm.
always be training in like acting, or even Peter Kalamis and a bunch of other actors. You know Baldur's Gate 3, the video game? Do you follow video
Yes,
games
yes.
at all?
Hmm.
Yeah, the voice acting that it won a bunch of awards, incredible. All of those voice actors also do on camera and theater acting, and
Hmm.
their auditions, I've seen them online. They weren't doing it into a microphone; they were doing it in front of a camera. Because these days, when you're doing a lot of video games, especially, you're doing motion
Hmm.
capture for it as well. So they want to see how you're going to move. If that's the kind of route you want to go, you definitely want to get into like a live acting class as well. And it'll help all around, but just submerge yourself in that world. The business side of it, do you have an agent? Are you on any pay to play sites or anything like that?
No, I don't have an agent, and the only
Uh-huh.
pay to play that I'm currently on is Backstage. I haven't
Okay.
gotten on like Voices or things like that.
Right. So there's what I'm learning is called the bottleneck in business. I'm always trying to like learn better business skills and all that to try and move my career forward too.
Mhm.
The bottleneck where the problem is. So right now, you've done 4 or 5 jobs, but you could have done way more. The only problem
Yes.
is you're just relying on Backstage, which might give you maybe 1 or 2 quality auditions a day if you're lucky. But
Hmm.
if you get onto what I always say, start on Voices, learn how the platform works. I've got videos in the classroom area on how it works. Learn how it works, jump on there, and you're probably only going to get in the beginning. Some people get as low as 3 a day. Some people get as high as 7 or up to 10. I usually get 30 or 40 a day from voices.com alone because I'm on there for a while. I've been proven. But get your start
Hmm.
on there, get your feet wet until you feel comfortable. Then you buy into Voice 123 at the 888 level. Now you're cooking. You're getting between 20 and 30 auditions a day. And then you want to get like a professional demo, put it together, get a website, all that. You really just want to start getting the reps in. But if you're
Hmm.
just relying on Backstage, you're going to be spinning your tires. You're going to be having a hard time. So I don't think
Yeah.
right now for you, what's holding you back has maybe a little bit it's mental, but you just got to put down on paper what the next step is. And you're not even in the game yet. You could be
Yeah.
working, but you just got to get in the game. And I don't like, some people don't like pay to play. And if that's not the route you want to go, that's totally fine. Just get a demo and get a website and get an agent.
Hmm.
And then just get those
Yeah.
auditions coming in. Yeah, let's jump into the script here if you're feeling it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to work on this. I want to see how you do here. Okay, so this is a snack food chips commercial
Hmm.
called what is it? Crunchy Joe's. It's a script written for me by ChatGPT, one of the best sources for free scripts out there. Okay, so what we're gonna do before we get into this, give me a data read just from top to bottom. Just say the words, no emotion, no
Okay.
nothing. You just want to get your mouth around the words, and just from top to bottom. Okay.
You know that feeling when you open a fresh bag of chips and it's like the universe is giving you a high five? Yeah. That's what that's what happens when you grab a bag of Crunchy Joes. Every bite, pure satisfaction. Light, crispy, with just the right amount of, oh, I'm definitely finishing this bag. Forget I'll just have a few plan. Crunchy Joe's doesn't roll like that. So go ahead, dive in. Because once you pop, the only problem you'll have is running out. Crunchy Joe's. Better get 2 bags.
Okay, great. You performed it a little bit. When we're doing the data read, literally just say it, just flat. We're just getting our mouth around the words. Totally fine.
Okay.
That wasn't a bad first read, though. Like there was a few stumbles in there, but
Mm-hmm.
You probably felt like you were maybe holding back a little bit at times. I don't know. I don't want to speak for you, but did you was that like, were you trying to go for it, or were you just kind of getting through it?
I was trying to not let any, how do we put, like, any oomph come out, right? Because you said it was just a data read, so I was trying to like bring
Yeah.
it down.
You know what the funny thing is? Like, so many people that I do this with, when they do the data read and they try not to do any oomph to it, but they still try to like
Mm-hmm.
perform it a little bit, that's usually closer to where you want to be. Because the problem is, most people, when they first start getting into voiceover, they want to try and knock it out of the park, but you're not trying to sell. You're trying to sound like a real person. You got to trust that your voice, you got to throw the imposter syndrome out of the window and trust that your voice as it sounds is enough. And I can tell you right now, Casey, your voice is amazing. You have a beautiful voice. Your speaking voice, it's so present and so alive and a lot of vibrance to it. Like, you're lucky, you're blessed, you know?
Thank you.
So you don't need to do a lot of other stuff. All you got to do is say it. There's a little humor in here that we'll address. But just for this first read, what I want you to do is focus on just being you. And if there's any like Casey-isms that come out where you feel like you want to do something, just follow that instinct. Because that's the kind of thing that sets you apart that nobody else can do. You want to be the best at being you. Let's do the whole cliche thing. We're going to talk about, you're talking to your best friend here. Who's your best friend?
My best friend. I have a friend. His name is Bernie. He's from the Houston area. I'm doxing him too.
Okay.
and
what's his address? What's his phone number? But here's the thing. Okay, so you have a good picture. Like, Bernie well, right?
Oh yeah, we've been friends since high school.
You guys joke around and stuff, friends since high school. Great. So this is all you want to do is just visualize like how you would say this to Bernie. Instead of trying to like talk to the masses, you're trying to talk to one person. You're just talking to Bernie. Okay. One thing I like to do before we jump into it is just like a little lead in. Like, when you talk to Bernie to get his attention, would you be like, "Hey man, hey bro, hey Bern"? I don't know. Like, how do you usually address him? What do you say in the beginning? Like, when you
hey
you talk
brother,
to him to get his attention.
Something like brother, hey, brother? Bro, something.
Yeah. So do something like that. Take a beat and then do the script, and we'll see where you're at. Okay.
Hey brother, you know that feeling when you open a fresh bag of chips and it's like the universe is giving you a high five? Yeah, that's what happens when you grab a bag of Crunchy Joe's. Every bite, pure satisfaction. Light, crispy, and with just the right amount of, oh, I'm definitely finishing this bag. Forget your, I'll just have a few plan. Crunchy Joe's doesn't roll like that. So go ahead, dive in, because once you pop, the only problem you'll have is running out. Crunchy Joe's. Better get 2 bags.
That was really good, man.
Thank you.
How did that feel? Tell me, like, what did it feel? Did it feel like you were doing anything? Did you feel like you were underplaying? Like, how do you feel?
I was at first it was like, okay, I'm going. And then I get to the part where it's like, every bite, pure satisfaction. You don't talk like that normally. So here comes the sell, and I'm like, pull it down a little.
For sure, 100%. Yeah, that was the right
Yeah.
instinct for sure. You don't want to sell it. Every now and then, there's room to do it a little bit. So this one's
Mhm.
obviously got some humor in it, so we can punch it up just a little bit. But I like to do it in select parts.
Okay.
Usually, I don't premeditate things unless there's jokes in there. Like for
Mhm.
instance, let's see, the forget your I'll just have a few plan.
Mhm.
Joe's doesn't like that, doesn't roll like that. Okay, so I'll just have a few. So let's say that that's something that Bernie says. How would Bernie say it? Can you make fun of Bernie? How would Bernie say that line?
Uh, uh, I'll just have a few,
Yeah, yeah. But
something like that.
what if he was being like I don't want to. If he was being like totally like whiny about it. How does Bernie whine?
Oh man. You know, it's funny that you bring that in particular up because that was
Uh-huh.
always an inside joke that he would whine a lot, especially to his parents.
Well, you've clearly never seen this before because I'm in fact psychic. That's awesome, man. What a coincidence. That's super cool. Okay, so let's hear it. Let's hear the whining thing. Let's hear him whine.
uh I don't know that's gonna be um I'll just have a few,
That's good.
something like
That's
that.
really good. That's great.
Uh-huh.
That's exactly what we're looking for. And the reason I'm saying make fun of Bernie, like, how would he do it? Because you know him really well. You've probably made fun of him before. You guys are like, you tease each other most likely, especially if you've known each other from high school. But
Uh-huh.
the relationship that you have together is going to be different than how anybody else attacks this. And it's going to create
Yeah.
a nuance and it's going to set you apart. So hold on to that. And when you come to that
Okay.
part, do Bernie whining. That was great.
Okay.
And was that line Crunchy Joe's doesn't roll like that? I would hit that word
Uh-huh.
roll a little bit just because it's a funny
Okay.
line. Like Crunchy Joe's doesn't roll like that.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, really like don't glaze over it's like the universe is giving you a high five.
Okay.
That's a funny line. Make sure we hear that, okay?
Okay. Sure. Sure.
But keep the authenticity. This is all coming from you, but in your most playful and like funny sense. Okay. Are you sitting down right now? When you're doing voiceover, I would highly recommend you don't have to do it right now because you've already set up and all that. Do voiceover
Mhm.
when you actually go to do it and you're doing the jobs and doing your auditions. Do it standing up. You have way more energy
Okay.
and you can move around because, like, don't you feel like you kind of want to move a little bit when you're sitting in the chair when you're doing it?
Yeah, that's why I got one of these like drummers benches so that I don't have like hand like the little armrest or things but blocking my
Oh, you
blocking me
thought
from
about it.
just
So you're
moving
moving
side to
around.
side.
Oh, okay. Never
Yeah.
mind. You've got it handled. Didn't realize I was talking to a professional here. Okay. Give me a hey Bernie or whatever you're gonna do, and then jump into it and just like be a little more playful, but turn it into a farce. Like be authentic,
Okay.
but just take those opportunities, like I said, to like make fun of Bernie. Don't glaze over the universe is giving you a high five.
You know that feeling when you open a fresh bag of chips and it's like the universe is giving you a high five? Yeah, that's what happens when you grab a bag of Crunchy Joes. Every bite, pure satisfaction. Light, crispy, with just the right amount of, oh, I'm definitely finishing this bag. Forget your, I'll have a few plan. Crunchy Joe's doesn't roll like that. So go ahead, dive in, because once you pop, the only problem you'll have is running out. Crunchy Joe's. Better get 2 bags.
That was great, man. That was great. There was a couple times where you like walked a fine line of like maybe going a little bit too big, but it works for this because this is a
Mm,
funny spot and it's written really funny. So it works. It works with the humor for this spot in particular.
mm-hmm.
And the reason I'm telling you that is because I don't want you to take like a spot for a bank and be like, let me humor this up and talk about Bernie and make fun of it. It's just specific for this spot. Um,
Yeah.
that was good. Now, can you give me like, let's go a completely different direction. Do you know like wry sarcasm?
Like British comedy?
Yeah, almost like can you give me like as if like you're giving me like a flat read and you're just kind of like doing like wry like that feeling when you open a fresh bag of chips and it's like the
Mm-hmm.
universe is giving you a high five. Almost like picture like Will Ferrell. Like just flat matter of fact wry sarcasm.
All right,
Like
let
hold
me
on,
give me give
let's
it a
get you
shot.
connected with it because I feel like you're kind of like reaching right now. You're not totally sure. Um, what if you're like almost like you don't want to be here?
Okay, just I'm kind of throwing away all the lines essentially.
Throwing away, sure. Let's hear what you got. Let's see what that does.
You know that feeling when you open a fresh bag of chips and it's like the universe is giving you a high five? Yeah, that's what happens when you grab a bag of Crunchy Joes. Every bite, Pure satisfaction. Light, crispy, with just the right amount of, I'm definitely finishing this bag. Forget y'all, I'll have a few planned. Crunchy Joe's doesn't roll like that. So go ahead and dive in, because once you pop, the only problem you'll have is running out. Crunchy Joe's, better get 2 bags.
Go back to the Crunchy Joe's and do like a shrug.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the shrug?
Yeah.
Okay, technical difficulties. My camera stopped because if I put a thumbs up on the screen for whatever reason, it stops the camera and does this stupid emoji thing. Anyway, I don't know if we'll leave that in the final edit or not, if you see it or not. But anyway, that was great, man. That's exactly what I was trying to get you to do. That is a really stylized read. It's really popular right now, especially with comedy ones where people just kind of seem like they're sort of over it. And I thought it would be a fun read to do because you said you wanted to do characters, but your instincts are really good because you've never done a read like that before, have you?
No.
But you nailed it. And the only thing I wanted you to do before the camera stopped with the thumbs up is go back to Crunchy Joe's. And because you kind of, you said it like you were kind of over it on the Crunchy Joe's, but I wouldn't do that on the product. The product, it's always kind of be positive a little bit. But if you say Crunchy Joe's, that's kind of selling it, right? But if you're doing anti-sell where you're shrugging, you're just like, Crunchy Joe's, better get 2 bags.
Okay.
Kind of thing, Yeah. Can you do that for me? Give me it from, so go ahead. Give me that whole last line.
So go ahead. Dive in, because once you pop, the only problem you'll have is running out. Crunchy Joe's, better get 2 bags.
Yeah. Great, man. Good. Listen, the only thing I'll say is like, I think you're holding yourself back and almost it's for no reason. I get that you have imposter syndrome and we all have it, but you just got to let that go and just look at it scientifically. You want to book work. How do you book work? You have to get auditions. How do you get auditions? Well, it's dealer's choice. I always recommend getting on pay-to-play sites because all you got to do is throw a little bit of money at the problem and then you get a bunch of auditions, right? Whereas an agent, there's like a whole process. You got a professional demo. So in the beginning, it's just easier to get on a pay-to-play site, and I would. And definitely like just get some coaching too. It's going to give you confidence because like you follow direction well, and I don't think it's a problem. In the community, how we do the free coachings with like Dave Beeson and then myself switching off from week to week, just take advantage of that because it comes in the price of the community. So you just do that as well. So you don't have to spend any extra money. I really think that, you've got a lot of potential, but it's only if you go for it. And you really should. You really, really, really should. You took direction extremely well. Have you worked with many coaches?
No. I've done some very, very few like theater work. That's pretty much it. Like as far as like doing voiceover stuff, usually, like I said, it was mostly for the Brownsville thing. They would just give me a script and just be like, all right, deliver this how you feel. And it's like, okay. So, never really got much in direction or anything like that. It's more just kind of internal. I try to get a feel for what it is that I'm reading and then just think like, okay, well, this is how I think it would sound, and being in marketing a lot, I hear a lot of different commercials and ad reads and things like that.
That's huge.
And so that's why
you know how the ads sound and you're able to do it. And then you've got experience using your voice. You know how to use it properly. So just follow your instincts and just keep going and just like, I don't know, throw the kitchen sink at it. Really go for it. That's what I think. Awesome, man.
That's
cool.
That's the plan.
Any questions?
That's why I joined up.
Yeah, good. Great. Well, I'm going to keep pushing you. Any questions or comments at the end here or anything? It's cool if you don't.
No, nothing really. Just, thank you for the opportunity. This has been really awesome. Just being a part of the community. And, I've done one with Dave. I've done one with you. And then now this one. And it's like, this has just been really awesome, experience. Just an experience in itself to be a part of this. And I've always, because I've always kind of thought as it's very difficult to find someone to kind of help out or to train. And you're really awesome. Like you're super cool when it comes to like just wanting to help people. And I appreciate that a lot because like you were talking about being authentic and I feel like you're a very authentic person and the way you just want to see people succeed. And that's really cool. So thank you for setting this up. your whole school thing.
Wow.
And then thank you for, putting together these weekly things that you do for us. And yeah, just, you're awesome. And I just wanted to let you know that.
Holy crap, Casey. Thank you so much. People are going to think I paid you to do that. I really appreciate it, man. It means the world to me, and I love doing this, and I love seeing people succeed. And yeah, I really appreciate those words, man. It helps and it keeps me going. So and
yeah, man.
like I said, really go for it. I think you can do this. So you can definitely do this.
Thank you.
It's just you got to walk through the door. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Hope you guys learned a lot. And if you're interested in what we do at the community, check the links below. You can book a call with me, learn about the coachings that I do. Other than that, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.